I am Savage Jim, and these are JLT all separator catch cans. These catch cans are made specifically for the 2011 through the 2014 Ford Mustang GT with the 5.0 liter V8 TI VCT modular engine. These catch cans are finely crafted and machined by JLT, and as you can see, this is a nicely machined billet aluminum piece. And the catch can over here is a 1/8 quart capacity. The purpose of these catch cans is to prevent oil from entering your upper intake system from your crankcase volume. Your PCV valve is what actually does that, and what these catch cans do is they connect from your PCV valve side to the intake of the manifold side, and in the process, it strains the oil from going into your intake and thus being burnt off into your combustion. What that does, it also gives you a pure fuel-air mixture, in which case it is not diluted with any oil vapors and thus therefore increases power as well as better fuel economy. What does that is actually very simple. This hose from this side, which connects from your crankcase volume, takes in air from your crankcase volume, which unfortunately also includes oil vapor and oil particulates. The air and the oil is ejected from this hole right here into the catch cup, and then the air is also thrown into this set of baffles right here, the separator. What the separator does is allows air in to go out to this hose into your intake, but the baffling system catches the oil, which then drips down and collects at the bottom of the cup. What this does is it prevents oil from going into your fresh air intake and thus keeping oil from being burnt off with your fuel-air mixture, as well as increasing power and reducing emissions. Installing these catch cans for the Ford Mustang GT is a very straightforward affair. That is because the JLT uses the OEM style connectors for their catch cans to be installed onto your engine. Before we begin, what we will need to do is we will need to remove the engine shroud. These are very simple to do. They're only held in place by these four knobs and rubber grommets, so this comes off very easily. The next thing we will need to do is we will need to match the old catch cans to the side of the engine that they go to. Each side has a different set of hose bending connections, so please do pay attention. This particular one goes to the passenger side, and before we begin, what we will need to do is we will need to remove the stock PCV hosing. We will start with the passenger side hosing, and to do that, you can see over here that I am tipping up this little clip right here. Let me zoom in. There's a little clip you simply pull back with your finger, and that allows you to pull back on the hosing end assembly. Now do the same on the intake throttle body. Pull back on this little gray tab and pull back and simply lift off. You will notice that this has a U shape. Let me zoom back. The passenger side will thus also have a U-shaped hose assembly to it. And simply add on in reverse order. It's a very simple process. You don't have to even pull back that clip. You just simply press down and the clip is spring loaded and it simply locks into place. Now let's go ahead and do the same for the driver's side. Replacing the driver's side hosing is a little bit more of a tricky affair, but there is a very simple procedure to get around that. Let me show you. The first thing to do is you must take off this side of the hosing. Let me get some light on that. Go ahead and just like on the passenger side, push in slightly. Let me get some light on that. Press the clip out, pull the hosing up. Now notice over here, on the engine side of the hosing, you cannot access the clip. So what you will have to do is you will have to turn and rotate the hosing out of the way until the clip is within your finger's reach. Then it's the very same affair. Just simply press on that and release the hosing. Pardon me, it is kind of difficult to reach in here and hold the camera at the same time. And then now, take your catch can, which has the hosing, which is approximately the same shape as the hose you just removed. Place this end onto the head side. Rotate the cup down into position. Line up your hose with the intake tube and press home until you hear a click. And just to tidy up a little bit, what you can do is just simply push your little cup down so it's out of the way, and you may close the hood without damaging anything. And that there, folks, is how you install JLT catch cans to your Ford Mustang GT 5.0 liter TI VCT engine. What I wanted to show you is just after 2 hours of driving and 100-mile trip on the freeway, this is how much oil I've collected out of my PCV valve. For some, you may burn a little bit more oil. For others, you may burn a whole lot less. But this catch can has kept that oil from going into my intake and thus diluting my combustion. Reinstalling these is a very simple affair. Just simply go to where your catch can is located and re-screw the can back onto the assembly. And that, folks, is proof that these things actually work.